In this video, we will discuss our open source program, Magnet DAQ. The video has chapters allowing easy navigation to sections of interest. The program allows data logging, automatic ramping, machine setup, and using scripts while ramping. So let's get started. Installing. The Magnet DAQ software can be found by accessing AmericanMagnetics.com and navigating to the drivers and manuals page. From that page, click the link to Bitbucket, where all the files for this open source program are kept. Once on the Bitbucket page, scroll down to the How Do I Install heading. Once you are there, select the install file for your system. As you can see, we have support for Windows, Linux, and Apple systems. Once you have the file, install like any other program. Program Overview. Now that Magnet DAQ is installed, we'll open the program. As you can see, we have a toolbar at the top with several buttons. Below the toolbar is our main controller interface. This mimics the front panel of the Model 430. As we go through the program, we will touch on the capabilities of each section. If you need more detail in any section, use the Help button in the top toolbar to learn more. The Help button opens up a very extensive document with an easy-to-follow table of contents and hyperlinks to make navigation easy. Below the interface is a collection of tabbed panels that allows plotting, setting, and detailed status. Finally, at the bottom, we have the status bar of our program. This provides information on our connection as well as any error codes that the 430 may output. Let's go into each section in more detail. Main display. The center display shows a copy of the 430 front panel display. The display will respond to button presses from the 430 front panel as well as button presses from the program. Left of the display, you will see copies of the front panel LED lights. These light up and extinguish along with the front panel LEDs. Right of the display, you will see the persistent switch control, target field set point, and ramp pause buttons. On the 430 programmer front panel, these buttons are underneath the Model 430 main display. They are shown to the right in the program so that they may be accessed easily once the program is collapsed. To collapse the program, look underneath the corner of the display. The collapse button provides a minimal interface for the 430 control and monitoring. This feature is useful while multitasking. It is also useful when multiple 430s are in use. For example, a multi-axis magnet which has one Model 430 for each axis. As you can see here, while collapsed, we have the IP name as well as the IP address of the Model 430 in the Windows title bar. Let's head back to the toolbar buttons. Print. Print simply prints the current view of the charts. Just manipulate the graph to show your desired information and print it out. We will discuss graph manipulation later. Select. Select allows you to select which Model 430 you want to connect to. If you have not connected to a Model 430 before, this list may be empty. One nice feature is this menu, and many others may be popped out into their own window by selecting this button. This allows the menu to be on a separate screen if need be. To return the menu to the main program window, just double-click the title bar. Since I have connected the Model 430 to this computer before, I see the name in the right sidebar. I will click this name and click Connect in the top left corner. Connecting to the Model 430. If you just installed Magnet DAQ, you need to enter the IP address of the 430 and press Connect. If you aren't sure of the IP address, I'll show you how to find it in the Model 430 menus. I'm going to click the Keypad button in the toolbar menu, and as you see, the rest of the Model 430 fret panel buttons appear. I will use these keypads to show you what you need to do to find your Model 430 network settings. First, plug in the network cable to the back of your Model 430. Make sure you are in the main display screen of the Model 430. If you are in any menus, press Escape until you see the main screen. Keep in mind, I will be using the program, but to follow along, just press the buttons I am showing you on the Model 430 front panel. The program mimics the front panel so well that I will use the program to show you what to do. Press the menu button on the front panel. Press either arrow key until you see Net Setup selected, then press Enter. Our network here at AOMI uses static IP addresses, which I recommend, since you will have the same IP address every time you connect with this method. For more information on these menus, they can be found in the 430 manual. Look in the Setup submenu section of the Operations chapter. Once you input the settings, you may be prompted to restart the 430. Always make sure the magnet is safely de-energized or in persistent mode before you cycle the system on and off. Once your system is configured, you can use the Net Settings menu to observe network status. As you can see, we are present on the network, and by using the arrow buttons, we may observe all of our settings. Now that we have our Model 430 IP address, let's go back to the Select menu. At the bottom of the menu, we see that we can save our graph data to a log. If you want to do this, you must designate a file before connecting. Just click the Choose File button, select a destination and a name, and click Save. Once you connect to a Model 430, the log will automatically start. Enter the IP address and press Connect. Once we successfully connect to the Model 430, you will see the graph begin to update. Plot controls and settings. As you can see on the screen, we are plotting magnet current and magnet voltage. I will change this to magnet current and supply voltage. Press the Plot Settings button, then select supply voltage in addition to magnet voltage. This configuration panel allows us to select the default limits of each axis, labeled min and max, as well as many other settings. Now that we are looking at supply voltage and magnet voltage, I will ramp the magnet so that we may watch the change in the plot. You may drag the plot area being viewed by clicking and dragging the background. If you wish to zoom in or out, roll the mouse wheel forward and back. This will zoom both axes and will center the action around the point of your mouse cursor. If only one axis needs to be zoomed, click that particular axis to highlight it, and roll the mouse wheel the same way. As you see, only that axis is zoomed in and out, and it still centers the action around the mouse pointer. This button in the corner of the graph allows the user to toggle automatic scrolling of the x-axis as the plot runs off to the bounds of the axis. Keep this turned off if you intend to focus on an event from the past. Keypad. This button opens a configuration panel that mimics the rest of the buttons on the front panel of the Model 430. You saw me use this earlier when we set up the IP configuration. About. This button shares licensing information for Magnet DAQ. Magnet DAQ is an open source software. Upgrade. The Upgrade button will guide you through installing the newest available firmware for your Model 430. Each release of Magnet DAQ may add new features that do not work without a firmware upgrade. The Upgrade wizard detects your hardware and will install the newest version and branch your particular machine supports. If you are connected to the 430 and the Upgrade button is grayed out, you already have the newest firmware version available. Tabbed panels. Ramping tab. The Ramping tab allows you to set the target set point, voltage limits, and ramp segments all from one place. These are all changeable from the front panel Model 430, but this panel makes it much easier since everything is in one place. Charging voltage is shown throughout the ramp on the graph to your right. Table tab. The Table tab allows you to automatically ramp the magnet, called auto-stepping, by entering values and allowing the program to walk through each step. The Model 430 will pause when prompted to, and can do so with or without making the magnet enter persistent mode. The program also has the option to control external code or programs like MATLAB, LabVIEW, or Python scripts, allowing powerful control. The help document has all this information as well as examples for these capabilities. The auto-stepping function is useful for many purposes. One example is a degaussing program to eliminate remnant fields in the magnet assembly. This table takes the magnet to a field of 50 amperes, then degausses the coil by going to 75% of the initial field strength in the opposite polarity. This sequence will continue back and forth at different polarities until we reach a value that was 1% of the original field. Once the table is populated, enter the start and stop row in the auto-stepping controls and click Start. Tables may also be saved and used again later by using the controls below the auto-stepping area. Setup tab. The Setup tab allows viewing and setting of various parameters for the Model 430. Collapsible submenus make navigation easy. The Supplies submenu is read-only for safety. It must be set through the front panel or through the program keypad interface. Each other submenu allows the same options as available through the 430 front panel. Rampdown tab. The Rampdown tab allows easy changing and viewing the settings for external rampdown events. These ramp settings are different than standard ramping and are only accessible through the remote interface or through the program. The Model 430 manual goes into more explanation of this. The external rampdown is triggered from external input to the Model 430 and is commonly used to discharge a magnet when liquid helium falls below a critical level. Events tabs. The event tabs access logs kept inside the 430 when external rampdown or quench event occurs. These are helpful when identifying or troubleshooting the cause and time of either type of event. Support tab. The Support tab provides an easy way to contact AMI with information while troubleshooting. All 430 settings are easily emailed to our support staff along with any important notes. As you can see, we have the option of copying the settings to the clipboard or saving to an external file as well. The magnet or system serial number is very useful and should always be included. And those are just the highlights of the Magnet DAQ program. The program makes running, troubleshooting, and data logging easy and all from one location. If you have any more questions, please contact support@americanmagnetics.com.